Hello and welcome to Monterey Trail High School here in Elk Grove, California, for what is our game of the week, maybe even the game of the year in the regular season in the Sac Joaquin section. It's a non-league matchup, which is rare this late in the regular season, between the visiting Inderkum Tigers and the host Monterey Trail Mustangs. We thank you so much for joining us here at ABC Jam Productions on the NFHS Network. Alongside my broadcast partner, Coach Scott Tedman, I'm Matthew Bissett. Coach, atmosphere is electric. This is a game you and I have been looking forward to for quite some time. And, I mean, right now it feels surreal that we're just moments from tip-off.
Yeah, it's electric here. The place is full. They got all kinds of people looking around. The teams are jacked up. We're ready to tip it off and have a great one. I want to give kudos to both teams and both coaches for scheduling such a big-time matchup just before the selection show comes out on Saturday.
Literally 3 days away, less than 72 hours from now, they'll be selecting the brackets. Both these teams will be in the D1 bracket. But getting to this game, Coach T's keys to the game. For Inderkum, Coach, they got to sizzle with size.
Sizzle with size. Inderkum, in my experience, has got the tallest team I've ever seen in a high school team. They go 6'7", Goodman, 6'8", Buchanan, 6'9", Malachi Johnson, 6'10", Malik Johnson. They are huge, and for them to pull the upset tonight, they're going to have to sizzle with size with their big fellas, and with the leader of the pack being the freshman, 6'2", freshman guard, Sincere Hudson.
And they need to roar like Tigers roar.
They need to roar, and that's all about defense. Fred Wilson, Coach Wilson, preaches defense all day and all night. And the leader of the band for their defense is Shane Johnson. He is one of the best on-ball defenders you'll see anywhere, certainly in this section. He's a big-time defender, also can chip in worth about 7 points a game. They can get out and defend, and with their size, they are a problem.
Switching over to the home team, Monterey Trail, record-setting season for them. They got to be the Trailblazers.
It is a trailblazing season for the Mustangs. The first 20-win season for Coach Fields. They have a tremendous team. Additionally, we've got a packed house here to see our next key to the game, and that's Big Game Gibson.
He's going to have some chance to have more big games this season as well.
He will. Brandon Gibson, in my view, is the runaway leader for SAC-B Player of the Year. He's had a phenomenal year. And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, he is 6 points from setting the single-season scoring record, eclipsing Varick Lewis, the great Varick Lewis from Monterey Trail. And he's 10 points tonight from scoring his 1,000th career point. It is exciting. There's going to be action. We are jacked up for this one tonight.
Could be a historic night in a historic season for Monterey Trail. We will step away for the national anthem here at Monterey Trail. We will be back for the starting lineups and the opening tip-off here on the NFHS Network. Nothing like a live national anthem. So many of these high school games, you get a recording of a national anthem that was previously sung or recorded by some artist, and We had the vocal ensemble here recording it today, and it's such a nice way to set the stage for a big game like this that we're about to witness here in front of us as we get set for these opening lineups. So Inderkum comes in 19-6 under Coach Fred Wilson. Monterey Trail under Coach Robert Fields, 24-2. With every win, they are setting a new school record for this boys basketball program. The starters for the visiting Inderkum Tigers, number 0, Jeremiah Butler, number 3, Sincere Hudson, number 10, Bryce Buchanan, number 14, Malachi Johnson, and number 34, Malik Johnson. So Talon Goodman not in the starting lineup today. Didn't get a chance to talk to Coach Fred before the game, but I know he was out for a game last week. So it's going to be kind of interesting to monitor what's going on with Talon Goodman, one of the leaders of this Inderkum team. For Monterey Trail, this is actually, believe it or not, the first game with a different starting lineup this year. Monterey Trail's first 26 games feature the same starting lineup, but this year there's a change because of an injury. Hopefully, Ozzie Franklin, who's out with an ankle injury, hopefully he'll be able to get back and healthy soon enough. So he's not in the starting lineup. It'll be Damian McAllister, number 14, taking his place. The other starters for Coach Fields and the Mustangs, number 2, Deron White, number 3, Craigus Thompson, number 5, Brandon Gibson Jr., probably not the last time we're going to call that name, number 14, Damian McAllister, and number 23, 2K, Kentrell Kelly, who actually got his 1,000th point just a couple weeks ago right here in this very gym in a game against McClatchy. So, again, it has been a record-setting season for these Mustangs.
Yeah, 2 teammates dropping $1,000 each with K Squared and with BG, big game Brandon. I also want to note for Inderkum, Jeremiah Butler, the 6'2 senior, averaging 13 points and 2.4 rebounds a game. Keep an eye on number 0 for the Tigers. Outstanding player.
And he and Goodman are the only 2 returners to this Inderkum team who graduated 10 guys from last year's team that got any minutes last year. So Butler, a big-time contributor with a big-time frame, as we like to call him here at ABC Jam Productions. He's Baby Barkley.
Absolutely.
As it'll be the older Malik Johnson, the older of the 2 Johnson brothers, as you see them on the floor. Probably not hard to tell which 2 are related.
And it's time, Matthew, to get it on. Let's go.
And McAllister's in the starting lineup for the first time this season. Wins the opening tap, and it'll be Mustangs basketball to start things here as Deron White brings it across the timeline. It's a fantastic guard matchup between he and Sincere Hudson.
Yes, Inderkum in straight man. They'll pressure and get after the boards.
Kentrell Kelly took it strong to the hoop but couldn't finish on the first possession of the game for the high-flying Mustangs. Butler fakes the 3. He goes into the paint. No good. He gets fouled in the act, though. You know, that's one of those things. Inderkum doesn't shoot a lot of threes, Coach. And I'm surprised that Monterey Trail's, kind of respecting that three-point shot the way they did on that opening possession.
Yeah, well, Monterey Trail plays the ball hard, and BG closed out a little too hard. Nice little up fake, and Baby Barkley's at the line for 2. But you are right. They feature the inside game, the Tigers. They're not going to throw the 3 up all that often, so you don't want to – kind of a soft closeout would be better. Keep them in front, and then you got to rebound the ball on the defensive end for the Mustangs.
So we call him Baby Barkley, but at Inderkum they call him Thick Van Exel. And Thick Van Exel gets the first bucket of the game. That's Jeremiah Butler. Here comes Brandon Gibson across the timeline. Thompson out to Deron White. His 3 on the way. No good. Johnson with the board. That's Malachi Johnson. Damian McAllister with a steal and almost got a bucket, but here come the Tigers. Good hands there by 2K as Kentrell Kelly gets the deflection. Now drive and dish by Johnson to Johnson.
That was a little bit of a nervous shot. This is a big-time game tonight, and it looks like the kids are a little bit nervous as we start out here in the first minute.
Pretty typical to see some nerves early in a contest of this magnitude. Again, with both these teams going into the Division I bracket, they will both be hosting at least one game. Potentially both could be hosting 2, depending on the way the committee sees things here in the Sac Joaquin section. An early timeout by Coach Wilson. Maybe he's sensing a little bit of those nerves as well. He calls his guys over, wants to settle them down a bit.
I agree. That's exactly what he's doing. He's telling them just play within yourself. Don't try to do too much. Pressure the ball. They're doing a nice job on the defensive board. But when you come down and you're running your half-court sets, just relax and run your stuff. As for Monterey Trail, they're going to host their first playoff game, I believe, in their school's history when the brackets come out on Saturday. This is a great dress rehearsal for the D1 playoffs for both of these teams. The nerves early, they can get those out of the way. I think this is going to pay dividends for both teams when the playoffs finally get here.
Yeah, I mean, you got a playoff-like atmosphere. Only difference is a week before the actual playoffs start where you can, a loss doesn't kill you tonight.
No, it does not. And it's a great preparation.
There's Gibson. He'll catch and shoot from three. This one's off the mark. Bryce Buchanan with the rebound. Inderkum doing a nice job of securing the defensive glass early.
Absolutely. That's a key to the game.
Here comes that stellar freshman, Sincere Hudson. Really finding his rhythm as this season's progressed. Happens to be their leading scorer now.
And he's so poised and just mature for being a freshman. It's so impressive.
There's a lob attempt looking for Johnson. He gets it afterwards, and then he is fouled.
So the size is showing early. We talked about sizzle with size on the open, and Inderkum's showing that right now. I think the other thing Coach Wilson told his troops was get the ball inside because that will settle a team down. You can get a few easy buckets or some free throws to go down, although they missed that one, and that'll calm your nerves a bit. As for Monterey Trail, they're still looking for their first points, but they'll be fine. They're here at home in the cozy confines of their gym, and it's just a matter of time before they settle in.
And I think that's 2 on Kentrell Kelly, if I heard the BA announcer correctly.
That is correct, and Coach Fields had to take him out.
Gibson comes away with the rebound. He's got a couple of rebounds early on, averages 7 a game. The drive and kick. Demarion Van Kelly off the bench, no good with that 3. And here comes Jeremiah Butler. Butler with a full head of steam. The lob. Johnson tries to throw it down, and he is fouled.
He looks like he's fine.
This is Malachi Johnson. We saw Malik Johnson at the line a moment ago. Now his younger brother Malachi Johnson will head to the charity stripe. Malachi averaging 10.3 points a game, one of 4 Tigers averaging in double figures on the year. You just don't see that very often, 4 different guys in double figures.
No, and it makes it difficult to play them because they can spread out the offense. They've got a lot of different options with their size and with their guard play. They've come out well here in the first quarter, but they got to make their free throws. There's another miss.
They are 1 for 6 from the foul line to start this game.
They're leaving a lot of points on the board early. That could come out to haunt them late.
There's Gibson. He wants to attack with Butler on him. The double team comes. Gibson gets out of the corner. 20 seconds to shoot. Deron White wants to clear out. He's got Johnson on him. That's Malachi Johnson on him. Craigus Thompson lines up a wing 3. Rattles it home.
That was a nice adjustment there. They spread Inderkum out. That neutralizes their size somewhat, and they got a nice 3 off of the kick out.
Right back. First field goal of the game goes down. That's Malik Johnson with the bucket. Bad transition defense there for the Mustangs.
Yes.
DVK from the elbow.
And
off the bench, DVK, instant offense.
And with Kentrell Kelly out, they're going to need DVK to score a little bit more tonight than maybe normal.
Well, he's certainly capable. He played his first game in mid-January, so he's working his way back into form. Speaking of form, Sincere Hudson with the drive to the cup.
Yeah, he is so smooth.
He looked like he might have been able to throw that one down.
I think he could have.
Gibson takes a hard foul there. I mean, really good contest on that shot from Butler, but Butler's just such a strong guy and a lot of big bodies in the lane. Good to see Brandon Gibson get up there.
Yeah, just a good hard contest. And going to the line for 2 for BG.
Brandon Gibson at the free throw line this season. He is a 76% free throw shooter. And if we were talking about a guy in the NBA, that wouldn't be an impressive number, but at the high school level, that's a really solid number.
Very solid. If you can get over 80%, that's outstanding for high school. He's starting to touch that mark.
And that'll help with a perfect trip to the line there. Now just 4 more points needed for Brandon Gibson to set the single-season Monterey Trail record for points. 3 ball by Johnson. This one's off the mark. Gibson with another rebound. Deron White was in there fighting as well.
Yeah, Monterey Trail would love to have Inderkum start jacking up threes.
DVK transition 3 ball. He had 4 of them on Monday night against Laguna Creek, and he can stroke it.
He can, and he can be streaky, and they're going to need him with Kelly out right now.
Butler with the up and under, no good. Here comes DVK right at the freshman. Good defense there. Great defense by Sincere Hudson. DVK strips it, no good. Lots of tough empty possession there for the Mustangs. Back comes Sincere Hudson.
This is end-to-end.
Butler with the floater. Off glass, no good. Johnson's put back up and good. Malachi Johnson joins his brother in the scorer's book.
The size again is showing for the Tigers. Now, your Monterey Trail, you want to spread them out a little bit. That neutralizes the size, doesn't allow for traps, and they can run their drive and kick game.
DVK pulls from deep, and he got it. Demarion Van Kelly has 8 points off the bench in the first quarter for the Mustangs.
DVK has come ready to go tonight. A relatively new addition to the team, and he is stroking it tonight.
Butler drives the lane. Good defense by McAllister. Better offense by Baby Barkley. Jeremiah Butler with his first field goal.
That was a weight room, too. No messing around. That was a man-sized bucket.
You think he spends time in the weight room?
I think a few minutes every day.
DVK floats it up. Oh, that nearly dropped. In and out, no good. Back come the Tigers. Johnson in the lane, and Johnson with a two-hand flush on the feed from Sincere.
And a beautiful setup by the freshman Sincere Hudson. He made that play right there with a master finish.
Here's Thompson looking to drive to McAllister. Well, McAllister throws it into the feet of Brandon Gibson, and this one goes out off of the Tigers, though. A little fortuitous there for the Mustangs. So now Kentrell Kelly's going to check back in. And I believe he has the 2 fouls. I didn't hear the official word, but I'm pretty sure it's 2 fouls on Kelly. So 3:15 to go in the first quarter, and 2K's back in there. He's got to be really careful.
Yeah, this is a big move by Coach Wilson. A little bit of a calculated gamble here.
Gibson, top of the key 3. Got it! Deron White with the assist. He's actually approaching the Monterey Trail single-season assist record. And now Brandon Gibson is tied for the points record in Monterey Trail single-season history. Talon Goodman has just checked into the game as well.
And the thing about Gibson is he is so composed. Nothing's going to bother him. He'll play his game, keep his team settled down. We got a great one early.
Butler, good move on the inside as he gets the lay-in to go.
So Inderkum's really locking down on the defensive end. They've got to get out on the shooters a little bit more. That's about all they're missing right now.
DVK with the drive, goes up, can't get it to go. Goodman with the rebound. Talon Goodman to Hudson. Hudson down low looking for Johnson, who goes up and rips it.
Sincere Hudson is controlling the game right now for the Tigers. What an impressive freshman.
A dunk apiece for each of the Johnson boys.
Setting the table for the big fellas.
Deron White from 3, no good. Talon Goodman snatches the rebound.
They are dominating the defensive glass, are the Tigers. They're pushing it.
Hudson, down low to Goodman. Goodman, stripped but fouled. This is going to be on the floor. I think they're going to get Deron White. Oh, no, they called a walk.
They called it travel. Yep.
I think Kentrell Kelly kind of pulled the chair on him there.
Exactly.
Deron White was in the area, and I thought he reached. 1 point game here. 1:50 to go. First quarter. Engelman, little one-on-one take from the elbow. Instant offense off the bench. Doesn't matter if it's DVK or Rashawn Engelman. Both of them getting it done.
Yeah, Rashawn Engelman is quick on quick, and he showed it right there.
Butler, floater, no good. Kentrell Kelly rebounds it, and he's fouled.
And that's why Coach Wilson had to put Kelly back in the game for those types of rebounds. They need the size from Kelly to
Coach
counteract
Fields, Coach Fields.
Coach Fields, I'm sorry. To counteract a little bit of the size of the Tigers.
Baron Roseboro checking in for the first time. Shane Johnson just checked in for the first time. I think Coach Wilson didn't like the looks that the offense was getting from Monterey Trail. You put in your defensive stopper, and look what he does.
Yes, exactly.
Immediately gets a turnover. Here comes Johnson to Goodman. Goodman rejected by BG. Now here goes DVK on the break. And DVK will flush it with 2 hands. You don't become the player of the year by only playing one side of the basketball.
Exactly. Both ends, tremendous block, a kick out, and a dunk by DVK. We have a barn burner here tonight.
And they're going to call a technical on DVK.
No, I don't agree with that at all.
I didn't catch what he did. I was too busy going absolutely ballistic.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep the coach's name straight. That's how excited I am over here.
Hudson knocks down the free throw.
I think
the official's saying he pulled himself up on the rim.
He did a pull-up on the rim, and you know what? I just don't agree with that. We have too great of a game here. It wasn't like he did a chin-up and taunt or anything.
And so now that's also DVK's second personal foul. He picked up a foul earlier, so second personal because technicals, doubles, personals. Big call.
Yeah. Again, I don't agree with that, and that's exactly part of the problem. It's a personal foul. He now has 2.
There's Malachi Johnson. Oh, he thought about throwing the lob there to Sincere Hudson, cutting in the back on the back door. Johnson out to Hudson. Hudson's going to walk. Yeah. He shuffled those feet right off the catch. That'll be a turnover with 1:01 to play here in the first quarter.
So Monterey Trail's done a nice job of kind of taking the first punch from Inderkum. They've steadied the ship, and they're up 3 with less than a minute to go. First quarter.
DVK step back triple. That was a bit forced there.
Yep.
Bit of a heat check for DVK.
Yeah, it really wasn't necessary. They should have run their stuff there.
Hudson goes at Baron Roseborough. And Hudson, beautiful finish with the right hand.
Yeah, Hudson got the better of that exchange.
Kelly tries to drive, loses it. Here comes Johnson. Lost it. Engelman comes up with it. Now here's DVK up ahead of the pack again. DVK goes with one hand this time.
No hanging on the rim that time, my friend.
And he is fired up to be playing some basketball. He's got 12 in the quarter. Hudson from 3, no good. Rebound. Johnson puts it up, no good. DVK hits the deck. Going to be a foul on the Tigers.
So what's happening here is Inderkum's lost a little bit of their patience. They're taking deep threes. Even though they're getting the offensive rebounds, they're playing a little faster than what they're capable of, and the Mustangs are taking advantage.
That might be 2 on Malachi Johnson, the way he came off. I think he might be in some foul trouble. So
we'll keep an eye on that for sure as we process through the rest of the game. There's 9.3 seconds left. Look for Brandon Gibson to do his thing here.
5 seconds now. Gibson gets by Goodman. Gibson. Oh, he's bottled up. Here comes Chadwick. Finger roll at the horn, and they're going to wave it off.
No.
He got it off late.
Just a hair late.
The backside official was right on top of it. So 22-19 at the end of 1. Monterey Trail with a slight lead. But if we get 3 more like that, we'll be in good shape today here at Monterey Trail on the NFHS Network, courtesy of ABC Jam Productions. Second quarter about to get underway here. What a first quarter we had. Sincere Hudson was fantastic in that frame. 6 points and a couple of assists to lead the way for Inderkum. But Demarion Van Kelly stole the show there, and I don't think the officials liked it too much, that stealing of the show, because he had 12 points and a technical to boot. Couple of dunks, couple of threes.
Yeah, he's been the story of the game so far tonight, playing tremendously well.
Goodman with the left hand off glass. Nice post move there from Talon Goodman.
And coming off the quarter break, it's clear Coach Wilson is featuring getting the ball inside.
Look at the passing here by Monterey Trail. They average just shy of 18 assists a game, and you can see the ball movement there on that possession.
Yeah, it's a perfect example of why they're averaging so many assists a game. Share the ball, pass and cut, take the easy shot.
Buchanan's going to pull from 3. This one's off the mark. Gibson with the rebound.
That plays right in the hands of the Mustangs.
Engelman open in the corner. This 3 is long, off the mark. Shane Johnson with the rebound. Here comes Hudson. Hudson off glass and good. A little contact there, but this isn't your normal freshman. He's got 8.
No, he is not.
You wonder, would the lights be too bright for the freshman? Not a shot.
Not a chance. Some players are just made for games and moments like this. Sincere Hudson is one of those players for sure.
Everybody on the court, including Monterey Trail, thought that basketball was off the Mustangs. Everybody started walking on the other end, but the officials award Monterey Trail with the ball. Here's White.
It's a great guard matchup.
Oh, backdoor feed to Craigus Thompson. Out to White. White drives, dishes. Kelly goes up. The
And
bucket
one.
and the foul. The bold movement there. Deron White, another assist closer to the single-season Monterey Trail record.
Yeah, that was crisp, clean, and a beautiful finish by Kentrell Kelly. In the last few possessions, particularly this quarter, the Mustangs have come out very crisp on the half-court offense.
2K, a couple of buckets here early in this second quarter. And he converts the three-point play as he just distances himself from that 1,000-point mark that he passed earlier this year. Elbow jumper from Sincere. Of course he knocks it down.
He is one of the most confident freshmen I've seen in a long time.
He's up to double digits. Here's a steal. And Chadwick will throw it down.
Well, they're going to call it technical. It's the same thing that happened to DVK.
LJ Chadwick with the dunk, but they're going to tee him up. You don't control a game by blowing the whistle.
No, and it's not like they're doing anything unsportsmanlike. Guys.
Hey, make your decision, okay, because we're trying to call the game, right? Gibson knocks down the free throw, and that is the free throw for the school's single-season record. 619 in the 916.
Congratulations, Brandon Gibson.
Now 620 points in the season for Brandon Gibson. Like I said, a school record, breaking the record set by Varick Lewis in his freshman season in 2019-20. Brandon Gibson, now your single-season Monterey Trail boys basketball scoring leader.
With 1,000 points directly in his sights.
Deron White with the drive, and he is fouled.
So one of the challenges here for both teams is to not start complaining about every call. You see some of the Inderkum kids looking around, putting their hands up. Just play the next possession, let the coach deal with the officials. That's what you got to do.
And I really didn't see DVK's technical. I didn't see what he did. But Chadwick absolutely didn't deserve one. That felt like a makeup call big time.
That's exactly what it was.
Here's White with the drive. Kicks to McAllister. Butler snatches that one out of the air. Butler on the break. He goes up, and he's just too strong. Jeremiah Butler with the bucket.
Man-sized finish for Baby Barkley.
He's got 7 and half, number one here. Thompson drives and kicks to the Inderkum bench. It was looking good up until the very end there for Craigus Thompson, and now Demarion Van Kelly will check back into the game.
Yeah,
he and Kentrell Kelly out there with 2 fouls apiece.
Yeah, and DVK's been instant offense and energy for the Mustangs tonight.
Here's Buchanan. Nearly had that stolen. They like featuring Jeremiah Butler in the high post. He's going to go out Gibson. And he's going to be, they're going to call an offensive foul on Butler. He got blocked anyway, so I think it would have ended up Monterey Trail basketball. But that's the 4th team foul on Inderkum this quarter, so no more to give.
Yeah, they'll be shooting free throws the rest of the way. I didn't like that call. I thought it was...
I didn't think he extended nearly enough.
He didn't. I think they call him on the shoulder, but it's got to be advantage, disadvantage to make that call. That wasn't there. Let him play.
Here's White, who gets bumped, and now it's going to be free throws for Deron White. And this guy's a 74% free throw shooter on the year for the Mustangs, not the guy you want to put at the charity stripe.
Great stroke, averages 9 points a game, almost 5 assists a game, and is very, very solid from the line.
And of course,
and with the announcers jinx again.
What we got to do is we got to talk down upon a kid when he goes to the free throw line. Then you'll knock both down for sure.
He shoots 90%, but he'll probably miss this one. There we go.
He knocks down the second one. 1 point lead for the Mustangs. Here comes Shane Johnson.
We got a beauty tonight.
Just over 5 minutes to play here in this first half. Little zone look here for the Mustangs. Buchanan looking down low for Butler. The passing inside has been crisp for the Tigers, and Inderkum takes their first lead in quite some time. Butler's got 9 in the first half.
It was kind of an excuse me finish, but it all counts.
Yeah, the box score never shows the beauty of the bucket.
No.
Here's Deron White out to Kentrell Kelly. DVK in the corner. He'll rise up from 3, and he knocks it down. He is not missing when he can get those feet set.
No, he's playing with such confidence tonight.
Oh, and Talon Goodman goes right at Kentrell Kelly, and they get Kentrell Kelly with the foul. And Coach Fields wants him to square up the basketball because once he turns there, he kind of leaves himself susceptible to that foul call.
That's exactly right. He opened his hips. He's then out of position. What you want to do is just wall up, try to find the angle, and stay stationary.
Goodman knocks down the first free throw.
Kelly's now coming out of the game. I think he has 3 fouls.
Yeah, I believe that is number 3. Hard to hear the PA with our headsets on and the noise here in the gym.
Yeah, it is rocking tonight.
So Goodman knocks down the first free throw. He averages 13.4 a game on the year. And the second one is no good. So it remains a 1 point lead for the Mustangs. And here comes Brandon Gibson. Butler falls down. Gibson drives and kicks. Deron White for 3. Got it!
That's a great play by Brandon Gibson. That's why he's going to be the player of the year. He doesn't have to score. He can facilitate, steal, decision-making.
Here's Gibson on the drive. He goes up, and he is... Oh, they didn't call... This is one of those games you just can't figure out. You're just going to have to roll with the punches.
Yeah.
I thought Gibson got hacked there, and there was no call, but they're calling the little shoulder on Jeremiah Butler. That's a play on every day of the week to me.
Except for tonight.
Except for and maybe the biggest game of the year.
Yeah.
Butler out to Johnson. There's Malik Johnson. Butler now in the high post again. Butler goes right in, hangs, floats, scores in the foul. Boy, with his frame, you shouldn't have hang time like that.
Wow. We talk about how strong he is, but that was athleticism to the max. So impressed by Jeremiah Butler. Wow. Hang time and finish.
He's a specimen out there on the floor, and he knocks down the free throw to boot. Back to a 1 point game. Butler up to 12 in the contest. DVK gets open from the corner. Knocks it down again. He's got 4 threes in the first half.
Yeah, DVK, these are like layups, but they need to get back on defense. Don't celebrate.
Johnson got back there, and somehow McAllister and Brandon Gibson recover. I think it's mostly Damian McAllister knocking it away.
Yeah, I love what DVK is doing, but when he knocks down those threes, he needs to get back on defense.
5-second call there on Johnson as Malik Johnson couldn't get the ball in bounds.
Tigers picking up full court, straight man.
How about this matchup? Johnson trying to hang with Rashawn Engelman in the backcourt. Engelman floats it up off glass. They asked him if he was looking to buy it. He said, no thanks. I'm just window shopping for the deuce.
Yeah, that's no matchup. That's a mismatch. He went beep, beep, and right to the bucket.
And it looks so pretty with the left. Here's a left from the corner. Johnson misses everything. Back come the Mustangs.
Good decision by DVK. Here we go. We got a matchup.
Gibson needs 3 points for 1,000. Deron White off the dribble. 3, no good. Rebound. Big, strong rebound there by Malachi Johnson. And Damian McAllister is going to get called for the foul.
Yeah, that's a good call. There's no reason to reach when you're 90 feet from the other end. Just get back, contest, and play defense.
That's just the 3rd team foul on Monterey Trail this quarter, but you can ill afford for Damian McAllister to get into foul trouble with Kentrell Kelly's situation.
Yeah, you don't want to pick up any cheap ones. That was a cheap one. Going right back to the big fella.
Butler goes up. Johnson with the putback. Johnson again, and he's fouled. Stick-to-itiveness by Malachi Johnson, and that might be back-to-back fouls on McAllister, which makes the little cheap one down here all the more important.
That's exactly what I'm talking about, and now they've got a problem here because they're big guys. are in foul trouble. Coach Fields is going to be searching for answers in terms of dealing with Inderkum's size. Sizzle with size that we talked about at the top, and it's going to show.
And Malachi Johnson knocked down the free throw. Inderkum starting to get better from the foul line after that shaky 1-for-6 start.
Yeah, they've settled in nicely.
Here's DVK off the screen. DVK catch and shoot. Well, this place would have erupted if he knocked that one down. 2:40 to play first half. Here's Johnson on the break, and Johnson right around McAllister, who could not afford to pick up another foul. Yeah. Malachi Johnson starting to pick it up, 9 points.
Yeah, that was a beautiful athletic finish by Johnson. Got a timeout, Monterey Trail.
Neither of these teams can get separation from one another, and they are going back and forth. Full timeout on the floor, 2:29 to play first half. We'll be back here on the NFHS Network, courtesy of ABC Jam Productions. I think everybody in this gym can use a breather at the half here with what we've just witnessed. And we are still 2:29 away from that intermission. Once again, alongside my broadcast partner, Coach Scott Tedman. I'm Matthew Bissett, and we thank you so much for joining us here on this Wednesday evening.
What do you like, NASCAR, Indianapolis 500, Formula One, or Monterey Trail and Inderkum tonight? Well, it is incredible.
I'm used to seeing teams play fast, right? Usually the teams that play fast don't have the size that these two teams have.
And athletic ability. This is big time tonight. Wow. If this is any kind of preview of the Division I playoffs, we are in for a phenomenal ride through the playoff season. But back to the action tonight.
Here's Rashawn Engelman with Sincere Hudson on him. Gibson, he wants to attack. He'll give it to White. White's going to pull up, mid-range jump shot, rattles around and drops.
Deron Wright is smooth.
I don't think I've seen him do a single thing out of control ever.
No, he's totally under control.
Here's Butler down to Malachi Johnson, who's blocked by Brandon Gibson. Gibson now on the break. Gibson, pull it back out, look for some help. Hudson with some great transition defense again. The floater by Deron White, no good. I think Butler got a piece of the ball. White is claiming he got a piece of him.
Yeah, no, that was clean, but boy, is White quick. Wow.
Butler took his eyes off that one.
It.
Here comes DVK. DVK puts it up and in. He's got 20 in the first half.
He's got the full bag tonight.
Butler from three. Got it!
Inside, outside, mid-range. Jeremiah Butler.
Here comes Engelman. Engelman in the lane. Oh, throws it. He's looking for McAllister. It was a little bit behind him. I also think McAllister was kind of expecting the shot there.
He was looking to rebound and didn't get a chance to handle it.
So 1:15 to play in this first half. 2-point game. Neither team able to gain much separation at all. Largest lead of the game has been a 6-point lead for the Mustangs. Malachi Johnson have a nice second quarter. Oh, good hands there. McAllister got a piece of it. Ends up going off of Malachi Johnson out of bounds.
Yeah, they're doing a nice job, the Mustangs are, running their zone, marking Butler primarily, but then getting out to the shooters and taking away the passing lanes.
Here's Engelman. Across the timeline. 50 seconds to play in the half now. Here comes Van Kelly. Free throw line jumper. It is all going right now for the man they call DVK. He's got 22 in the half.
He's got it all going tonight. Wow.
Malik Johnson drives, kicks. Chadwick from the corner. Long. Monterey Trail can hold for the last shot of this half, already with a 4-point lead.
I don't know. We get 5 possessions in 30 seconds the way this thing's going. But yes, they're going to pull it out.
Deron White being patient. This is the guy you want with the ball in his hands. 15 seconds to go in the half now. Here's White. He's got Malik Johnson on him.
Okay, they're clearing. They're clearing the wing. Letting him go.
White out to Thompson. Oh, Thompson loses it. Boy, Monterey Trails had the last possession of the first quarter and the first half, and they've been a bit disastrous if we're being honest. 0.7 seconds to go as the Mustangs turn it over. Let's see if the Tigers can get a heave off here. And Butler's going to let it roll a bit, then he'll heave it. 3/4 court, no good. 47-43 at the half. We're going to catch our breaths here at ABC Jam Productions. The Mustangs clinging to a 4-point lead. We'll be back with the second half here on the NFHS Network, courtesy of ABC Jam Productions. We are joined at the half by the great Joe Davidson of the Sacramento Bee, who knows a little something about high school basketball in this area. He's going to join us here for the halftime show. Joe, first of all, I was talking to Coach Tedman off the air about sometimes you get so hyped for a game, and then it often does not live up to its billing. This game is not that. This game had the hype going in, and it has absolutely lived up to that here.
What a treat. And kudos to the coaches, Fred and both coaches.
And Rob.
And Robert Fields. Sometimes our brains get full. And Fred Wilson. And they played each other last season, and why not play again? And what a treat. And we have the section playoff brackets to be released on Saturday. These two teams are going to be Division I title contenders, no doubt. What you see how big and long the Inderkum Tigers are, and I think Coach Tedman has said before this is about the biggest team he's ever seen. And so that's a great test for Monterey Trail. And then Monterey Trail has to deal with Van Kelly and Kentrell and Brandon Gibson. So it's a great test for both sides. What a show. What a treat.
So you came out with your top 20. I believe that got released today in the Sacramento Bee. Go check it out, folks. And you had Monterey Trail number 1, Inderkum number 5. And there's a D2 team in there, at least one D2 team in between them. So this could be two top 4 teams, and you're looking at two teams that could host a couple of playoff games at least in the Division I bracket. And I mean, is this is this the most balanced year you've seen in a while in this section? There's no prohibitive favorite. I think Monterey Trail's clearly the best team, but I don't think anybody looks at them and says, oh, they're absolutely going to win it all.
We were all talking about this before the season. You and me and Coach Tedman said, we weren't even sure who our preseason number one team was. Is it Sheldon? Is it Jesuit? Is it Rockland? Is it Monterey Trail? We went with Monterey Trail because we didn't have that overwhelming heavyweight. And so to answer your question, yeah, this is going to be a great field. So I have an update. Monterey Trail will not be hosting any playoff games in section or NorCal rounds because of the melee that took place in the NorCal playoffs last year at Reardon and San Francisco.
No, you mean Inderkum.
Excuse me.
You said, okay.
Inderkum.
I was like, wait a minute.
So Inderkum will, because of that, Inderkum will not be hosting any playoff games. It's a CIF sanction. That's a steep price to pay. But it's also, hey, you can't have that kind of behavior. So Inderkum, for
Stuff
all its
like that has to act as a deterrent for future.
Well, and what do? Suspend kids who graduated? Are going to graduate. You're going to suspend a coach. So that's a tough, because this, Inderkum's worth a watch, and so that they're going to have to do it all on the road. But I think Coach Wilson has these guys. They don't fear anything and anybody.
They look pretty good on the road today.
Do.
I mean, they trail, but they look pretty good on the road here today.
But there's a benefit, and Coach Tedman knows that. You earn home playoff games. You're comfortable. It's at home. It's your whole routine. So they're going to have to do it on the road. It wouldn't surprise me if these two teams get in the section finals. They'd have to play each other, certainly on the opposite side of the bracket. That may happen. But Modesto Christian, a defending champion and a real heavyweight, is not an overwhelming favorite by any means. And so they're ripe to be plucked. Also have Sheldon to look for. And Capital Christian is our SAC B number 2 team, maybe the favorite in Division 2. So, yes, sir, Mr. Brissett, to answer your question, I think we are ramping up for a great playoff run. I'm ready. It's going to be next week. I can't believe it's here.
I looked at we were looking at the D1 bracket earlier today. I think there's 7 teams. Now, some teams I'd be a little bit more surprised than others, but I wouldn't be shocked if there's these 7 different teams, if they won the section championship at the end of the season. And that is remarkable because usually you have 1, 2, maybe 3 that you're like, they could win it all. This year, there's legit 7 teams that I think are good enough where I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense that they won that thing, that they got hot at the right time.
Western Ranch of Stockton.
Lincoln of Stockton.
Lincoln of Stockton. Wouldn't surprise us. Wouldn't surprise us if Sheldon wins another section champion. Wouldn't be surprised if
Rockland.
It would be surprising and disappointing if these two teams don't make a run and get into the NorCals. Because the beauty of the section playoffs, if you get to a section semifinal and if you got a powerhouse record and you lose a tough game, you might still be an at-large. And we've seen it in the past. You could win 2 or 3 games that way.
Well, and all it takes is one bad night in the playoffs or one good night by your opponents, because in the NBA they play a 7-game series all throughout. Because guess what? This is a very hard sport, and losing one game doesn't kick you out. But that's what makes March Madness so special. That's what makes the high school basketball playoffs so special. You have to be pretty darn good every single night. You can't afford technicals for hanging on the rim. You have to be pretty darn good every night in order to make it.
And Coach Tedman knows you got to play with pride and share the ball. Don't forget to box out. Don't jack up shots. And we're high school enthusiasts because we admire how these kids play under all kinds of pressure. It's easy from our standpoint, you guys sitting up here, me on the baseline. These guys are going to make free throws in the crunch. They're going to have tired legs. You're going to have to get 3-point shots up. You got to box out. That's why they do it. That's why we like talking about it, watching it, broadcasting it, reporting on it. So it's going to be fun. We know the section finals, I think, for Division 1 will be at a Wednesday night at Golden White.
February 21st. Wednesday all day at Golden One, but Wednesday night will be the D1.
And that's something that'll be here before we know it.
Yeah. I mean, heck, it's already February 7th, and it's before we know it. But don't ever say that my job is easy. I know I make it look that way, but this is a very hard job. I know what you do is very easy. A child could do it, but not the case with what I do. Okay.
Well, and I see all these buttons.
And this is start hitting.
I mean, it's just
please don't. Please don't.
Is this NASA control?
We'll be back. We'll be back with the second half here from Monterey Trail, 47-43. Trail on top of Inderkum. Follow Joe Davidson on Twitter. Check out his stuff at the Sacramento Bee. Thank you, Joe, for joining us. We'll be back for the second half. Back for the second half here at Monterey Trail. Return of the Mac is playing, courtesy of the DJ. We had a great first half alongside my broadcast partner, Coach Scott Tedman. I'm Matthew Bissett. Coach, really up and down first half. A little bit of foul trouble for both these teams, especially Monterey Trail. What are your thoughts on this second half?
Well, the first half was woo! Telling you, man, it was electric. It was up and down. I think we're going to see the same thing in the second half. It'll be interesting to see if one team gets a little bit of a working margin, if they continue to push the ball or try to be a little bit more patient. But the energy level is high. The effort level is there. These are two of the best teams in the Sacramento area. And here we go, round two.
Deron White with it across the timeline, being hounded by the freshman Sincere Hudson. There's Gibson. Gibson from three, and he knocks it down. That is 1,000 points in the career of BG Brandon Gibson.
Kudos to BG, 1,000 points. And then Ender comes down and says, celebrate that.
Yeah, Jeremiah Butler having a big game. He had 15 in the first half, and he picks up right where he left off. Gibson lays it up and in, and Brandon Gibson maybe getting going here. A bit of a slow first half for him as Coach Wilson wants to take a timeout. Monterey Trail up 7, but Gibson 7 points in that first half for a guy who averages 23.6 points a game. I'd say it's a bit of a slow first half, especially when you think about he only had 1 field goal in that first half, 4 points from the free throw line, but now he's got the first 5 of the second half. And Coach Wilson knows you let that guy get going, we might be taking the L and heading back north to Natomas.
But one thing I love about big game Gibson is that he lets the game come to him. He doesn't force things. He understood that Demarion Van Kelly had it going in the first half. It was clear to me that Coach Fields had a little talk with the team. They spread him out a little bit, and Gibson comes out early and knocks some shots down. So he'll be there at the end. The other thing that's going to be important here and in the playoffs is Monterey Trail does a really good job from the free throw line, and Gibson, being their star, is an excellent free throw shooter. We'll see if that makes a difference or is a factor later on in this game tonight.
Well, that's what you want. The guy where you want most with the ball in his hands in any situation is also one of your best free throw shooters. That's the way you close games, especially come February.
Absolutely.
Sincere Hudson from three, no good. Rebound, Jeremiah Butler puts it back up and in. A little stat padding there by Jeremiah Butler.
Yeah, he just stays with it all the time. Love his game.
He and Gibson, the only guys who have scored here early in this third quarter. Gibson around the back dribble. Nearly lost it. Here's White with it now. White's going to pull from deep. This one's short. White gets his own rebound. White goes right into the teeth of the defense. He is just sandwiched by Johnson and Buchanan. That was Malachi Johnson and Bryce Buchanan in there.
The tiger trees swallow him up.
Butler in the paint. Looking down low for Johnson. Johnson off glass, no good. Buchanan with the rebound. Loses it. Johnson with another rebound, or got the loose ball. Everybody bending over at the waist for that loose ball, and Malachi Johnson picks it up and he gets the deuce. Gibson with the floater, no good. Rips the rebound away from Buchanan, and it's going to be a foul on Buchanan.
So things have slowed down a little bit here to open the third quarter. Inderkum's size has shown itself like it did at the beginning of the first quarter. I'd like to see Monterey Trail share the ball. Well, there we go.
Oh, a little give and go between McAllister and Gibson, and Malik Johnson sent him packing at the rim.
Yeah, Malik Johnson said, no, sir.
And a timeout on the a technical foul on the Monterey Trail bench. Can ill afford that right now, as it'll send Sincere Hudson to the foul line. This youngster is 67% free throw shooter on the year. He knocked down 2 free throws in that first half. First one's in and out. Hudson had 10 points in that first half. At least, 3 or 4 assists as well. A tremendous first half.
He had a great floor game. He's one of the best freshmen I've seen in this area in a long time. Plays well beyond his years.
Knocks down the second free throw.
So Monterey Trail needs to stay composed here. Just play the next possession, one possession at a time. Don't get involved with the officiating.
Here's Buchanan from 3, and Buchanan rattles it home. Inderkum takes the lead.
I would say of all the big guys they've got on Inderkum, Buchanan's probably their best shooter.
Not having the best shooting season, but that one looked pretty good.
Yeah, he's got a nice stroke, though.
McAllister can't get the 3 to fall, but Kelly's there with the rebound. And then Johnson, Malachi Johnson with the rejection. Back comes Hudson to Buchanan, who lays it up and in. The Tigers are roaring here. Buchanan's first 2 buckets of the game. He's got the last 5, and the Tigers have a 3-point lead.
Defense leads to offense. We talked about the roaring Tigers. Defense to offense.
Gibson's going to pull from 3. This one's short.
That was a little bit of a force.
It's a good save there by Buchanan. He wasn't sure if his teammate touched the ball, so he saved it. Really smart play. Buchanan from 3. No good. The Inderkum fans would have erupted.
Great hustle, though, by the Tigers.
Butler drives the lane. Butler down low. Kentrell Kelly comes away with it.
Both teams really getting after it on the defensive end.
Here come the Mustangs. Here's Kentrell Kelly down the lane. He flushed it with the right hand. Timeout, Monterey Trail. 1-point game. It's a 30-second timeout. We'll stay right here with you. 4:49 to go in the third quarter. Malachi Johnson a bit shaken up out there. That's something to monitor because he has been fantastic throughout here today. He's got 11 for the Tigers.
Yeah, and has dominated defensively in the paint. On that last possession with Kentrell Kelly getting the dunk, you got to stop the ball. If not, that's what you get. Both teams really roaring on the defensive end.
I think it was another assist by Deron White there on the break as well.
Yeah, and he's closing in on the Monterey Trail single-season record. Probably likely get it in the first game of the playoffs, but again, he can just dish it out.
He needed 13 coming into tonight. He's got to have 5 already, I would think.
I would say so.
Assists are one of those toughest stats to keep, right? Because they're one of the only stats that's subjective.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
Here come the Tigers holding that 1-point lead. Butler now with the floater. Butler's up and good. Oh, he has been unstoppable catching the ball down there.
And that was great execution against the zone. That's a soft spot. And the Tigers saw it, dissected it, and got the bucket.
Butler's up to 21 points in the game. He averages 13.2 a contest. White with the drive. White off glass. Tough finish from the smallest guy on the floor.
5'11" over 6'10". Impressive.
Hudson going right at White. Hudson can't get it to go. Rebound, Karam's out. White saves it. Up ahead of the pack, DVK. Over to Craigus Thompson who lay it up and in. Mustangs back on top.
A beautiful break by the Mustangs.
Great awareness. DVK found the trailer.
Yes.
Sincere Hudson from 3. No good. Rebound, Malik Johnson. Deron White in there battling. That's going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow will favor the Tigers.
Matthew, this has got the feel of a Division I final tonight. Wow, these guys are getting after it, and it's clean, hard play.
Depending on how the bracket shakes down, nobody would be shocked to see these two teams playing that Golden One in a few weeks.
No, sir.
Actually, 2 weeks from today, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah. Right around the corner, Selection Saturday coming up.
Shane Johnson checks in for Malik Johnson.
And Inderkum's depth is really impressive. Coach Wilson does a great job of bringing guys in and out without missing much of a beat at all.
Here's Hudson with it. Defended by Deron White. Hudson gets loose down low. Deron White with the defense. I think Engelman got caught reaching there.
Yes.
That's going to send Sincere Hudson to the line. No, they're going to call it on White. I thought they got Engelman reaching. Whoa, they called it on the wrong person. They called it on.
Okay. The official's correcting it. He's just everybody calm down. I'll get it.
Okay, so they did call it on Engelman. He originally came over and said White 11 and DVK had the tech going another foul in the first half. He could ill afford for a foul. He was way away from the ball. It was certainly either Engelman or White as Hudson knocks down the free throw. 12 points in the game for the freshman. Can't get the second to go. Gibson with another rebound. There's Kentrell Kelly out of the head of the pack. Kelly goes right at Bryce Buchanan. That's going to be a foul on Buchanan. That's what you said. You can see Buchanan's a little frustrated, and you said it. The players just got to play through this stuff. It kind of sense both teams getting frustrated with the officials. And I think I'm with Bryce on that call there, but we're not going to harp on it too much.
No, and again, you just got to play the next possession. You get into a championship situation, you can't focus on the officiating. Just play through each call and just get back and play the next possession. I like the way Kelly took it up to his chest, though. It makes the official make the call, and he got the benefit of it and out the line, shooting two.
Right or wrong, oftentimes those calls go to the aggressor.
They do, absolutely.
Kentrell Kelly knocks down the first free throw. Second one off the mark. Kelly averaging 13 points a game on the year. Monterey Trail back on top by a point. Man-to-man defense now for Monterey Trail. They've had enough of Butler catching it at the elbow.
Yeah, they've had enough of that, is right.
He'll just take it off the dribble. Can't get it to go. Gets his own miss. Puts it back up, and it rolls home.
He is so strong with a soft touch. You don't see that very often. What a player.
Here's Butler
Here's
and
a
Gibson
matchup
again.
for you on the wing. Gibson wants this matchup.
Gibson with the footwork. Gibson goes up,
And
down, and it goes!
You could see it in his eyes. He wanted that matchup, and he got the better of it. Beautiful finish.
I love good team basketball, but I'd be okay with them just clearing the floor and letting those two guys go at it right about now.
Hey, the NBA All-Star Game's coming up. We got a little piece of that tonight with Brandon Gibson and Baby Butler. And that would be Baby Barkley.
Baby Barkley, Baby
Jeremiah
Butler,
Butler.
Thick Van Exel, whatever you want to
There we
call
go.
him.
We got
The kid's having a game. That's all I know. He's got 23 in the game. Gibson at the foul line. Can't convert the three-point play.
And Butler's leaving the section in nicknames. What a game we got tonight.
Gibson's up to 14 points in this contest. Here's Goodman.
Kelly got caught off the screen there. He's got to make sure he steps through or plays over the top.
Here's Hudson on the drive. The floater by the freshman. No shot. He got that to fall.
Terrific touch by the freshman.
I don't even know how it's possible he got that one to go off glass. That's going to be a foul on Hudson.
So, with all the contact, and they're letting him play, with the exception of the technicals for the most part, relative to how the game's being played, that was pretty ticky-tack.
I think that's why you sense the frustration growing, right? Because I think everybody, fans, coaches, players, broadcasters, you just want consistency, and I don't think we're seeing that.
We're not in the second half here, and it's got to level off, let the kids play.
Kelly with it. Kelly drives and kicks to Demarion Van Kelly. And that's going to be a walk on DVK. Yeah. That's a really good closeout by Goodman.
Tremendous closeout. We talked about the Roaring Tigers and their defense, and they are so solid and fundamental. And DVK got caught up in there with the ball. Turnover.
There's Malachi Johnson back out to Butler. It's a fun matchup as well. Rashawn Engelman, the junior, against the freshman Sincere Hudson. Goodman looking for a cutter. He finds Hudson.
Nice defense by the Mustangs.
Hudson. Johnson with it. Shane Johnson drives the lane, can't get the land to fall, and that's a big-time rebound by Kentrell Kelly.
But look at Johnson hustle back up the court. That's what I love about the way he plays. Got a motor that never turns off.
DVK from deep, and he got it! His fifth triple of the game!
And DVK that time, he ran back down the court on defense. I guarantee you, Coach Fields let him know that. That was a beautiful exchange.
Engelman rejects Butler. And a timeout, Coach Wilson. He's in playoff form. He's right up on top of it. Big-time defensive play by Engelman on a night when nobody can stop Baby Barkley. 1:18 to go in the third quarter. Full timeout. We'll be back here at ABC Jam Productions. 64-62. Some people are calling this the game of the year, and it has lived up to the hype. Alongside my broadcast partner, Coach Tedman, I'm Matthew Bissett. Thank you so much for joining us here as the regular season winds down. Tiger basketball, 1:10 to play now in this third quarter, excuse me. Here's Goodman. Goodman looking to attack. Goodman hangs in the air, no good. Gets his own miss. Goodman goes back up, no good. Kentrell Kelly snatches that one out of the sky.
Yeah, that was a man-sized rebound by Kelly.
Engelman for three in transition, and he gets it to go.
The best threes you can get are in transition or off a drive and kick.
Hudson on the drive, goes up and in. Good take there from Hudson. After misses, Mustangs giving up too many layups, but what a strong move there from Hudson.
But to the Tigers' credit, they are pushing the ball make or miss and forcing the Mustangs to get back on defense or pay the price.
Gibson with the floater and the foul. And he has the look of a killer out there. He's going to go to the line for a chance at a three-point play.
This is like watching a heavyweight fight. I mean, they're just exchanging blows end-to-end, offense to defense, taking no prisoners. This is so impressive by both clubs. What a game. This is the game of the year in the Sac Joaquin section, or certainly in the Sacramento area.
Butler and Gibson talking to each other at the foul line.
That's mutual respect. I'm telling you right now, that's what it is.
Oh, no doubt about it. It's just a part of the game.
Absolutely. Here we go.
In the second half, 10 points in this third quarter for Brandon Gibson. He's up to 17 in the game. 6-point lead for Monterey Trail. Malachi Johnson on the drive. Johnson goes up. And going to be,
I think it's on
McAllister's going to be called for the foul.
He was a little bit out of position. That's a good call. Nice take by Malachi Johnson. Shooting two.
Yeah, Johnson had a really strong first half. 9 points in that first half. And nice touch on that first free throw as he gets it to go. He's one of 3 Tigers in double figure scoring in this one. Jeremiah Butler to the bench right now as LJ Chadwick, the sophomore, will check back in. Chadwick had that big dunk and then the ensuing technical in that first half, but he played some good minutes for the Tigers as Johnson, perfect trip to the foul line. 7 seconds to go in this quarter. There's Van Kelly. 3 seconds. Van Kelly steps back, 3. Oh, this place might have erupted if DVK got that one to go.
They would have had to build a new gym if that one had gone down. That was a tremendous step back, just a little off the mark.
Mustangs had a 4-point lead at the half. Mustangs have a 4-point lead going into the fourth. 8 more minutes in regulation here at Monterey Trail. We'll be back here on the NFHS Network, courtesy of ABC Jam Productions. Back for the start of the fourth quarter. This place has been rocking all night long. And usually you see a gym rocking at a high school game, it's because of a massive student section. No, there's just a bunch of basketball fans packed into this gym.
Absolutely being treated to one of the best games of the year.
Engelman, the fadeaway jump shot, no good. Nice move there, but everything but the finish from the Mustangs junior. Nice move here. Hudson to the hoop. No good. Johnson puts it back up and in. Malachi Johnson
playing a great game for the Tigers. That size matters.
Here's Gibson. Gibson on the drive. Gibson scoops it, and he's going to be fouled.
That was a little bit of a late whistle, but a good call. Coach Wilson doesn't agree, but that was a good call.
No coach, player, fan has ever loved a late whistle. I actually don't mind it personally. It shows me the ref actually thought about what they're saw instead of just being so reactionary. What I said, what he was sawing, what he was seeing.
Yes.
It's a little late in the night here, and words kind of escape me a little bit.
Late whistle, late saw, late scene. But we're all here tonight watching a beauty. BG at the line, knocking down 2. Every possession matters from the tip to now, but here in the fourth quarter, it's winning time. We'll see what happens.
I believe Brandon Gibson 7 of 8 at the line tonight.
So solid, so good, complete game.
Here's Goodman down low. And Goodman's going to be fouled by Engelman. That's a good foul, though, if you're the Mustangs.
Yeah, the Mustangs got caught on a switch, and actually that was a good foul by Engelman. Saved a basket.
For as much as we talk about Inderkum's size and speed and all these things, their ball movement when the Monterey Trail goes to the zone has been fantastic.
Tremendous.
They've been getting like the overloaded sides really well and just doing a nice job.
Yes, working the mid post.
Sincere Hudson from 3. This one's off the mark. Kentrell Kelly, another big rebound.
2
Here
on
comes
1.
DVK. DVK goes right at Hudson, no good. And Hudson's played tremendous transition defense all throughout this one. Shane Jackson! And Goodman with the flush!
What a finish by Goodman.
He came in out of nowhere.
A no-doubter dunk.
Gibson to the lane, and he got all 31 flavors on that scoop.
And back and forth we go. We got a classic, an instant classic here at Monterey Trail.
74-70, 6:30 to go in the game. A near steal, Chadwick still possesses. Chadwick mid-range shot, no good. Kentrell Kelly, another good box out. Brandon Gibson with the board.
Nice
Gibson
team.
wants to push. Engelman 3. He got it! Rashawn Engelman, his second 3 of the second half.
The lefty knocking it down from deep. And the Mustangs have established a 7-point lead. They're getting a little bit of a working margin. The Tigers need to respond, and they do not with the turnover.
That is the opposite of a response. 7-point lead, the largest for either team this game. I believe Inderkum's only had a lead of 3, if I'm not mistaken.
Now, Inderkum needs to keep their chin up here. There's 6 minutes to go. They're right in the game. Rely on your defense, your size, and your skill. Get the ball off the defensive glass and go for Monterey Trail. Take care of the ball, quality shots, and team rebound on the defensive end.
Engelman, the change of pace, off window. 8 points in the half for Engelman.
Rashawn showing it all in the fourth quarter.
Johnson and Johnson. Johnson with the initial attempt. Malachi with the flush on the putback.
Beautiful follow, and the Mustangs right back at you. Inderkum, straight man. BG working it from the wing.
Gibson. Down low to Kelly.
Beautiful
Good hands
give.
by Kelly. The bucket
And
and the foul. What can't Brandon Gibson Jr. do?
He can do it all. That possession showed every ounce of his skill, his vision, his precision, his find for his partner, and the finish by Kentrell Kelly.
I don't know if Joe Davidson has some sort of hardware he hands out for Player of the Year. I'd like to see him just walk out and give it to him right now while Kentrell Kelly takes his free throws.
Yeah, he's just he's a special player.
Kelly converts the three-point play. Big-time three-point play there for 2K. And 9 points in the game for the senior.
Yeah, we talked about this a minute ago now. Monterey Trail's extended this out to 10. We need a response here from the Tigers.
Butler down to Johnson with another dunk.
And there you go. Go to your power game.
Butler's been living in that spot against his Monterey Trail zone.
Now, if you're Monterey Trail, you want to run your stuff. Don't get passive, attack, but you can be a little bit more selective about what you want. And they've got the star with the ball in the corner in BG. Big game.
Gibson to Kelly. Kelly drives and kicks, and that's a good take on the charge there by Goodman.
Yeah, beautiful
I think that's number 4 on Kentrell Kelly. So remember, he picked up that third early second quarter. He's done a really nice job of avoiding that 4th foul, but he's going to come out for a bit here.
Yeah, Kentrell Kelly's really managed his game since he picked up his 2nd foul.
And it's not like he's shying away from things. He's been rebounding the basketball. He's been doing a lot of really nice things. But that was just a really nice play from Goodman.
Yep.
Goodman was actually guarding Brandon Gibson and got down there to take that charge.
Yeah, Kelly, I think, should have actually shot the ball right there. Would have avoided the foul.
Butler goes up, no good. Butler gets the miss. I don't know how. Butler back up, and he gets fouled.
Jeremiah Butler is one of the most relentless players that I've seen in a while. He just plays every single second. It is so impressive. Now the Tigers have to knock down their free throws. You can't leave any points on the board. Trying to cut this to 6.
That is the 5th foul on Damian McAllister. So he just came in to spell Kentrell Kelly. And Coach Fields with a somewhat veteran coaching move. He was trying to tell Deron White to go tell the officials, hey, that was me, I fouled him. And the officials were having none of it. And the coaches on the Inderkum bench were telling the rest, no, it was 14. Butler knocks down the free throw. Boy, Jeremiah Butler, he is so impressive.
He is, and he does whatever it needs to take to try to win the game. He's a complete team player.
25 points in the game for Butler. 4 straight points for the Tigers.
Plenty of time, plenty of game left for both teams.
Goodman knocks it out of bounds. It'll stay Mustangs basketball.
So Gibson needs to step out to the ball a little bit. He can't let the ball come to him. He needs to go get it. Goodman almost had a steal right there.
There's White in the backcourt.
Now it's clear the Mustangs are going to run their offense through Brandon Gibson.
White's going to catch and shoot, and he knocks it down from a few feet behind the line. Whatever you need, Deron White will provide it. He's in double figures now with 11.
Yeah, they're getting contributions from a lot of players tonight, are the Mustangs.
Hudson over to Goodman. Goodman catches and goes up, no good. Here comes DVK.
Let's see if he...
Oh, his cross-court pass nearly stolen. White in the lane. White's going to call for the walk.
Yeah, see, in that situation, they really should have pulled the ball out. You're not freezing it, but you need to pull it out and then establish yourselves and get a good shot.
Especially after getting away with that cross-court pass that should have been a turnover. You're like, hey, you know what? You're playing with house money right now. Pull it back out. Use some clock. But Coach Wilson takes a timeout. It'll be Inderkum basketball, but 30-second timeout. We have so much to talk about. We'll stay right here with you.
Yeah, you don't want to give the money back that was put in your pocket, and that's what happened. The other thing, too, is you got to be aware a little bit of score and situation. They're up 9 right now with 3:46 to go. You don't go to any sort of delay mode, but you can be a little bit more selective and patient is the way I would always term it, and then search out for a good shot.
So it's a full timeout. Inderkum, I think, didn't have any 30s left. So it is a full timeout for the Tigers. But we'll stay right here with who cares? 3:46 to go in this game. Monterey Trail up by 9. The largest their lead was 10 just a few moments ago. And that Deron White 3 was massive because, I mean, at that point, Inderkum had 4 straight points. You know, the big bodies were, they've been kind of had moments where it seems like they're starting to wear on Monterey Trail. But the Mustangs have always had an answer.
Yeah, and that's part of what makes them so dangerous. They do get contributions from everybody. They play as a team. They obviously have a superstar, but they're willing to play together and trust each other. Now, we need to look with Inderkum's approach here in the last 3:45. If they score, are they going to go into some sort of a press?
Monterey Trail's knocked down 12 threes in this game to only 2 for the Tigers.
That's
3 balls, the great separator, or the great equalizer in the game of basketball.
Well, especially with the size of Inderkum.
Malik Johnson out there to Butler at the elbow.
Mustangs in their zone.
Gibson strips it. Gibson with the block. Did it go off of Butler? No, they're going to say it went off of Gibson. Boy, it looked like Brandon Gibson could have saved that too. He was convinced it was off of Butler.
Yeah,
Still a big-time defensive play.
It was, but again, just play the next possession. Don't worry about it. Just get the next stop. And if you're Inderkum, take advantage of the whistle.
Goodman drives the lane. Goodman rejected by BG. Here comes Kelly on the break. Kelly with the left hand, 11-point lead.
The opportunity break, perfectly done by the Mustangs.
Goodman, Butler in his office. Johnson goes up. Good finish. Malachi Johnson. Just unbelievable game so far for that young man.
That was a great dissection of the defense. The Mustangs turn it over. They need to calm down. They've got a working margin. Just relax and play the game out one possession at a time.
Malachi Johnson up to 12 points in the second half. He's got 21 points in the game. Bryce Buchanan from the corner. 3 on the way. In and out. The Tigers could have used that one.
Wow, that was halfway down and out. Now, if you're Monterey Trail, I would run my stuff for about 15 seconds, and then you just get into your action. The clock is now in your favor.
There's a reach on Goodman. That's just the third foul this quarter on Inderkum. That is the fourth on Goodman, though.
And the other thing it does, it resets the shot clock to 35.
Yeah, and with only 2:33 to go, using that shot clock.
Yeah, the clock is now a factor. It's scoring situation.
Here's White. They want to get it in the hands of Gibson. Why not? Gibson drives. Gibson lays it up and in. A little George Gervin Iceman finger roll.
With an incredibly quick first step to get him to the bucket. And the ice finger roll.
And the body control to not just go through Bryce Buchanan, who was trying to take the charge.
Yes.
Buchanan fires away. No good. Goodman rebounds. That's going to be a foul on White. But how about White battling down there? Big-time offensive rebound by Goodman. But Deron White not willing to give it in. She'll get called for the foul.
Yeah, and even though they're smaller, they play very strong. I mean, that was a perfect example. White stood right in there. He's got a strong upper body, good solid base. Picked up the foul, but again, they're team rebounding, which is the key for Monterey Trail.
Here's Hudson from the corner. I think DVK might have got a piece of that one. Kentrell Kelly on the glass has been massive this second half. And just I say that, he turns it over, and Buchanan will go up and throw it down.
So they're picking up full court. Look for a trap.
Engelman, little hesitation. Engelman down low to Kelly. Kelly's going to bring it back out. Out to White. Gibson drives the baseline. Gibson steps through, and he puts it in.
The closer, Brandon Gibson.
90 seconds to play.
The Tigers need to get up some quicker shots. Great defense by
with the
Deron
steal.
White.
And a foul?
Wow.
I don't think I've seen that.
That was
the player he fouled was almost at half court. And like I said, I don't really mind late whistles, but that was really, really late. Bryce Buchanan was almost at half court, and that's the guy he fouled. So Buchanan at the line. First free throw. A little bit of a line drive, but it went in. Buchanan's second free throw, short, no good. And Kentrell Kelly with another rebound. He averages just shy of 8 on the year, but he's got to be improving upon that number tonight.
So here comes the pressure. Monterey Trail doing a nice job. A timeout by Coach Fields. He wants to make sure they take care of the ball for the last 116.
Yeah, 'cause it was looking a little dicey there before he called the timeout.
It was a little sketchy for sure.
Full timeout for Monterey Trail, 1:16 to play. We'll step away one last time. We'll be back with the conclusion of this one. Game of the year happening in Elk Grove. 1:16 to play in the game. Monterey Trail on top by 10.
This has been an incredible game tonight. Both teams putting it all on the line. But I just have to say, Brandon Gibson has played an incredible second half, Matthew. Give the folks the numbers for Brandon Gibson in the second half. He is the closer.
So in the second half, Brandon Gibson has 18 points. He is just only 7 in the first half, and he was more than happy to defer to Damarian Van Kelly, who had 22 in that first half. Now both players have 25 in the game.
Again, Inderkum's now. They've got to go to the foul game.
Oh, they knocked away from Kelly, a little careless with the ball, and Butler finished at the other end.
Well, they got the steal. That's a start. If you're Monterey Trail, you got to spread out the court, make them guard the entire 94 feet.
There's White. And another steal. Hudson knocks it away. Hudson glides in, and he's fouled in the bucket. Tigers not going away. Hudson with a chance at a three-point play, and I really don't believe that he's a freshman.
No, he's just incredible. You know, I indicated they may need to go to the foul game, but with this trap, no need for that. If they can get rips and runs, they're right back in it. Hudson is a special player. I don't care what grade he is. I know he's a freshman, but he is something special.
Hudson knocks down the free throw for the three-point play. It's a 5-point game. Don't go anywhere. Here's Van Kelly. Van Kelly drops out to Kentrell Kelly, who's fouled, and that's going to be 5 on Talon Goodman.
Nice attack by the Mustangs, though. I like the idea. They got the angle, attacked the basket. Kelly now going to the line for 2.
Kentrell Kelly, he knocked down a free throw on a three-point play earlier in this half. I believe he's 3 of 4 at the line in the game. On the year, though, Kelly's only a 50% free throw shooter.
Well, this is winning time right here. Talon Goodman had a great game for Inderkum tonight.
Yeah, came off the bench, 5 points in the game, but did a lot of other things really, really well. And he had that massive putback dunk as Kentrell Kelly misses the first.
So this is where the problem comes in these big moments or championship circumstances. Games are won or lost from the free throw line. Tigers are right back in it.
Second free throw by Kelly. And 2K knocks it in. And that's a big one there, stretching the lead back to 6.
2-possession game, though, for the Tigers.
Hudson drives the lane. Hudson with a little step through. It's up and in, and Coach Wilson takes a timeout. Sincere Hudson with another bucket. He's got 11 in the second half. He had 10 in the first half. 3 Tigers over 20 points in the game.
You know, we thought this was going to be a good one. It's not only a good one, it's a great one. It's off the hook. And nobody has left this gym. It is electric, and we still got 30 seconds to go. What a game.
You know, high school games aren't played in the 90s typically, right? It's just that there's a score you don't see. But I watched this game today, and I don't think, oh, man, I mean, sure, the defense could have been better. But I don't think we're looking at 2 bad defensive teams.
No.
We're seeing high level of offense. Obviously, both teams going about it in a different way. Inderkum using their size and just physicality underneath. And then Monterey Trail with all this skill, especially Damarian Van Kelly and Brandon Gibson knocking down the outside shot. It is high-level offense we're seeing here tonight.
It really is. And we've gotten to this 92-88 game very naturally within the context of a great game, well played by both teams. Very impressive. And now we're coming down to the wire. Inderkum's looking for a trap, a steal, and a bucket. Monterey Trail should be spreading them out. I would not try to dribble too much. You try to advance it with the pass and keep Inderkum on the move.
Yeah, 4 ball handlers out there. Oh, Hudson nearly came up with a steal.
Wow.
Oh, that was dangerous. And now the Mustangs can't run the baseline anymore after that one. So, and you see the official doing a nice job. He just told Brandon Gibson, "This, you have to stay in this spot." Van Kelly back to Gibson. And a steal by Shane Johnson. Johnson with the layup and the foul!
Wow!
Holy cow! Don't go anywhere!
We talked about the Roaring Tigers. their defense, and it is showing out right now.
Shane Johnson picked one heck of a time for his first basket of the night. And Brandon Gibson thought he got fouled down there, but it's a moot point now. Johnson's free throw. Off the mark. Bryce Buchanan with the rebound. Ball's loose. Johnson goes up once. Brandon Gibson with the block. Johnson again. 2K rebounds it. Stolen. Layup. We're outside. 10 seconds to go.
You got to take care of the ball if you're Monterey Trail.
Engelman. Elbow jumper. Off glass. No good. No whistle, we're going to overtime!
Overtime, baby!
What in the world just happened?
No, wait a minute. The officials are consulting.
No, they're not.
They're sending
it's overtime.
Teams back to the benches. We are going to OT. Wow!
92-92, heading to overtime. We'll be back at ABC Jam Productions. Overtime about to get underway here at Monterey Trail.
This place is out of control in a very good way.
92-92, Buchanan and Kelly to tip it off here in overtime. Goodman and McAllister fouled out, not available for the overtime period.
Tigers in straight man.
Here's Brandon Gibson with it. Gibson, mid-range pull-up, no good. Butler rebounds.
Great defense by Buchanan.
Up ahead of Chadwick. Chadwick reverses it home. The Tigers lead to start overtime. Kelly now. DVK to pull for three. Knocks it down.
No words, Matthew. Just watch the game. This is incredible. These kids are playing their hearts out tonight.
His 6th 3 of the game. Butler spins. Butler floater's good. 96-95.
Mustangs on the run.
Gibson in the lane. Can't get it to go, but he's fouled.
It'll give us a chance to exhale here for 10 seconds.
Butler going to be called for the foul.
What a start to the overtime. This entire game has been beyond electric.
That's only the third on Butler. 2:53 to go in this overtime.
If there's any power outages in Sacramento, just hook a generator up to the gym.
Oh, my goodness.
It can light the entire city with what we're seeing tonight. Now, these are big-time free throws, to say the least, and they've got big-time, big-game Gibson at the line. This is exactly what Monterey Trail would want.
We're getting a dry spot up underneath the hoop here. Or a wet spot. Trying to make the wet spot dry.
Trying to get there.
I'd figure it out eventually. You know that.
Yeah, this game has just been something else. I'm going horse. You can't get the wet and the dry spots right. And it's all good, my friend.
Gave Gibson a little extra time to think about these free throws. The first one is pure. All tied at 96.
As Stuart Scott used to say, cool is the other side of the pillow. And Brandon Gibson is exactly that.
Another free throw from Gibson is good. I believe that's 9 of 10 at the line tonight for BG. Unofficially, 97-96. Hudson drives the lane. Hudson the floater. Great contest by Gibson. Rebound caroms to Chadwick. Goes back up. Cantrell Kelly with the contest. Here come the Mustangs. DVK for 3. Oh, and Butler got a piece of it. Oh, the Tigers are roaring 5-on-2. Butler floater. Good.
What a touch by the big man.
He got the block at the other end, and then he gets the floater.
End-to-end action. The game of the year.
Engelman to Kelly. Kelly drives the baseline. Kelly lays it up and in.
Got Buchanan on his hip and made him pay. Monterey trail up 1.
Both teams inching towards triple digits. Chadwick out to Hudson. Hudson down low to Buchanan. Buchanan goes up, can't get it to go. Crowd wants a foul.
You got to play
Gibson
on.
drives the lane. Gibson is fouled. This will send Brandon Gibson back to the foul line, and it might be number 5 on Buchanan. He came over to the sideline as though it is.
These
no,
players,
that's the 4th on Buchanan.
Yes.
So but he is checking out, it looks like.
Yes. These players are throwing their bodies around with no regard for personal safety. I mean, they are just putting it all out there and then some. And again, if you're a Monterey Trail fan, you got the guy you want on the line, BG, who's going to be the player of the year. I'm going to say it right now. Sacramento will be player of the year, Brandon Gibson. Give it to him now, Joe Davidson.
Pretty confident.
I'm not going out on a limb, I'm sure. These are huge free throws right here.
Oh, no, that was number 5 on Buchanan, so they're waiting for him to come in.
All right.
So now Malachi Johnson will check back in, and Johnson hasn't had a lot of minutes lately. I think, we saw him go out with a little bit of a leg injury earlier. Not sure if that's bothering him right now, but either way, he comes back in the game. The PA announced 4, so I think there's some confusion.
Yeah, they're checking the book right now. The officials are doing the right thing. You don't negotiate with the coaches if you're the official. You check the official book, and that's what you have to go by.
(99-98), 1:38 to play. Brandon Gibson is up to 27 points in the game. And he's got 2 free throws here. First one is good.
So he breaks the single-season scoring record. He has 1,000 points in his career, and he just brings Monterey Trail to 100.
And he's inching closer to 30 on the night. Already has a 51-point game under his belt this year.
And more importantly, he gives Monterey Trail a 3-point lead. Monterey Trail's in their zone. Inderkum's done a great job of dissecting the zone and finding the seams.
Under 100 seconds to go now. Here's a steal. Engelman with the hands. Not a steal. Hudson's there. Hudson lays it up, but he's fouled.
Good call.
And that's going to be on Brandon Gibson. Now Hudson at the line, trying to answer the pressure-packed free throws that we just saw from BG. Boy, Mustangs nearly came up with a steal there. Rattles it home.
Look at this freshman. Just unperturbed at the line. Knocks down the first.
Big-time game from this young man. He's nearly doubled his average on the season. Misses the second. Johnson with the rebound. Put back. We're all tied at 101.
Sizzle with size. We got a tie ball game.
Here's Gibson. Gibson loses it. Hudson with the steal.
Spin move.
Oh, and there's a deflection. Deron White saves. What hustle by the Mustangs and a timeout. Coach Fields, 1:08 to play.
That's a great timeout by Coach Fields. Obviously, it's a little bit ragged end-to-end. Both teams playing 100 miles an hour.
We can't see that corner of the court down there, but I think it was Engelman that got a piece of that ball. And then Deron White somehow saves it from going out of bounds. Full timeout. We'll be right back here on the NFHS Network. All tied at 101. Malachi Johnson's bucket has tied this thing up. The transfer, the junior from Texas, 14 points in the second half and overtime, up to 23 in the game.
The big thing for both teams is to take care of the basketball. Don't turn it over.
Here's White. They get it over to Gibson. Gibson will drive the lane out to DVK.
Plenty of time on the shot clock, 20 seconds.
Oh, here's a deflection by Chadwick. Chadwick knocked away by Gibson. Big time play defensively by the sophomore. He got up off the floor quick to deflect that pass.
Yeah, they went fire on that, ran a double at him. Beautiful timing by the Tigers. Chadwick with a beautiful defensive play.
Tigers chance to take the lead here. Shane Johnson inbound. In the corner, Hudson. Hudson spins. Hudson can't get it to go. Johnson follows.
Johnson has been massive inside for the Tigers. Up 2.
Malachi Johnson with the bucket.
Monterey Trail's going to run their offense through Brandon Gibson. He's a facilitator, a scorer, and a leader.
6-second difference between the shot and game clock. Chance for the Mustangs to tie or take the lead on this possession.
Yeah, now when you're in Monterey Trail's position, you don't want to be overly selective. You have plenty of time. You don't need a quick shot. You want a good shot. You don't need a 3. A 2 will tie the game. And then you got to rely on your defense for whatever happens beyond that.
The offensive rebounding for Inderkum has been out of this world tonight, and it's really mostly been Malachi Johnson on the glass. We've seen everybody get in the mix, but time and time again, number 14 there has just been at the front of the rim, and right now he has the go-ahead bucket on a putback.
Yeah, the 6'9 junior has been massive, not only rebounding but now scoring on the putbacks. And right now in that overtime, he's been the difference in the game right now with the Tigers up 2, 30.1 seconds left.
And Malachi Johnson, first guy out on the floor, he's fired up.
And he is leading the charge out there, firing his guys up. And then you got Sincere Hudson, cool as a cucumber, telling his guys, you got to stay with it. For Monterey Trail again, you got plenty of time on the shot clock, 24 seconds. Coach Fields is drawing up what he wants. Inderkum in straight man.
Here's White with it. To Gibson. Gibson looking to drive. Gibson in the lane. Gibson goes up. Can't get it to go. Rebound Butler.
Yeah, you got to foul.
They're going to have to foul here. And Engelman will foul the freshman, Sincere Hudson, with 16.8 to play.
And I know he's only a freshman, but I guarantee you, Coach Wilson wants the freshman, Sincere Hudson, on the line in this situation.
I can't think of a better player to put at the line if you're the Tigers than the freshman Hudson. Inderkum trailed by 11 late in the fourth quarter. They trailed by 10 under 2 minutes to go in the fourth. And they have just been relentless throughout. Hudson's first free throw, good.
Money.
The touch and the clutch from the freshman Sincere Hudson.
The money man, Sincere Hudson. Now this is a big one. This will give him a 2-possession lead if he knocks it down.
And he delivers, and he signs it sincerely, sincere.
Monterey Trail's got to push it. They need 2 possessions.
DVK, he'll fire from 3. That's off the mark. Butler rebounds it, and the Tigers are looking poised for a remarkable comeback.
What a game by both teams. And for Inderkum to stay with it, to be so resilient, and to come back and take this game in overtime. Wow, this is impressive. What do you think the selection committee is going to do with this game?
I don't envy that selection committee
either.
On Saturday. Shane Johnson at the free throw line. First one, good.
And Inderkum has made their free throws when it matters. We talked just a little bit ago, free throws can decide championship games. And for the Inderkum Tigers, they have knocked them down, and they've knocked out the Mustangs, and they're walking out of here with a win.
Second free throw from Johnson, no good. Chadwick with the rebound. And the Tigers pull it back out, and that will do it.
It's over.
Trailing by 11 late in the fourth. Inderkum roars back, and they win it. They knock off the number one team in the area, the number one team in the section, and the committee is going to have their hands full trying to figure out what to do with the Tigers and the Mustangs and the rest of the Division I bracket.
And if you look at the floor right now, Matthew, this is a non-league game, and these teams care so much. What a game. What a privilege to be here and call it, to see it. This packed house enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to watching both of these clubs when they start up the playoffs next week. What a game.
Boy, Hudson, Butler, Malachi Johnson. I don't want to slight any of the other Tigers, but those three just put on a performance to be remembered by anybody that ever steps foot on the campus of Inderkum High School.
Yeah, this was a legendary performance, a massive win for the Tigers, one that they can build on into the playoffs for sure. And for Monterey Trail, what a game by the Mustangs. Brandon Gibson brought it all. DVK brought it all. And now they're going through the line. Mutual respect. It's tough if you're the Mustangs, but they'll regroup and they'll be ready to go. As for Inderkum, look out. The Tigers are roaring.
What a game we just saw here tonight. We weren't sure if this could possibly live up to the hype, but it lived up to that and probably exceeded it here at Monterey Trail tonight. The Tigers with a massive victory, 106-101 the final in overtime. An 11-point comeback in the fourth quarter. Unbelievable performance by the Tigers, especially late. I would sign up to watch round 2 of this matchup at some point in the playoffs. It would be special. But that'll do it for our coverage here at ABC Jam Productions. We thank you so much for tuning in. For my broadcast partners, Coach Scott Tedman, I'm Matthew Bissett. Good night from Elk Grove.